Hello friends, and welcome to episode 5 of my How to Backpack series. This video is going to be covering how to pack your backpack for your trip so that it's most comfortable and then that you have the best access to your gear. I'm going to cover a bit about organizing your equipment, putting it in your bag, and preparing water and things of that nature for your trip. Come along on the adventure. So when you hear backpackers talk about gear and how much their gear weighs, you're going to hear this term base weight kicked around a little bit. What a base weight is the amount of equipment that you carry minus the consumables. So that doesn't count your food, your water, or your fuel. That's just your sleeping bag, your tent, your clothes, things like that. Some people don't even count the clothes because they say, hey, I'm wearing those aren't in my bag. Depends on who you talk to. The big thing that's important when you're packing your bag is that you organize it in such a way that makes sense. So you want to keep your smellables in one spot, you want to keep your clothes in one spot, you want to keep all your food together, you know, that sort of thing. So what I do for the things that are not smellables is I put them in small reusable fabric bags. A little bit more of a heavier option, but I just accumulated these over time. I spent no money on them. It's essentially free in my book. So I prefer to reduce, reuse, and recycle as much as I can with my equipment. I use these small fabric bags just to keep the small things together. Consider this maybe a bag for my toiletries. So then I could throw all those in here. I know I just need to grab this bag if I need my toiletries. I don't need to go rummaging through all my backpack to find my toothbrush and then my toothpaste and then my soap and then my towel. It's all gonna be contained in one place. So it's important to consider that when packing your bag. So it's very important to use things like stuff sacks so you can compress your compressible equipment. My whole sleeping bag is contained in this small bag. It's not in its full puffed out form. Although this feels a little bit heavier, this is gonna save room in my bag so I can put more things in there. Ooh. You can also use stuff sacks for things like your clothes, where you can just mush them down in the bottom and then roll that up. What I would recommend to use as a stuff sack is a dry bag, because then your stuff is compressed and it's also at least significantly water resistant in case you fall into a creek or something like that. I'm going to be paying special attention to this because the hike I'm going on, to show you guys how to do all this, I have to actually swim several times distances between 20 and 100 yards. So I want to make sure that all of my gear is pretty well waterproofed. Although I'm bringing an inner tube to float my stuff, I want to make sure that if it gets splashed, that I'm not going to run into problems and have a bunch of wet equipment, especially not my camera gear. That would really, really stink. While packing your bag, it's important to order things in the order in which you'll need to access them. So things like your snacks should be closer to the top of your bag where you can access them on the trail, versus things like your tent or sleeping bag could be buried way down in your bag because you don't need them when you're walking. Another thing to consider is the distance from your back to the outside of the backpack. So say this hand is you, you're gonna want a lot more of your heavier gear closer to the spine, closer to your back, not further out, because then that's gonna tilt your bag and that'll lead to back problems and things like that if your weight is distributed pulling you backwards. You want it hugging your back so that your hips can do their job and distribute the really heavy stuff adequately across your legs. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you've liked the series thus far, please consider hitting that subscribe button and ring the bell icon so you get a notification whenever I post a new video. New videos out every Monday at 5 p.m. And down in the comment section, if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you so much and have a great day.